everyone. My name is Bill Bradley, and today we're going to be doing a special class on how to cook an authentic Mediterranean dinner. And I'm a registered dietitian. I've been specializing in the Mediterranean diet for the last 15 years. I'm the co-author of the book Foods of Crete, Traditional Recipes from the Healthiest People in the World. And the two recipes we are going to cook today are from the island of Crete. Crete is a Greek island. It is famous for being one of the healthiest places in the world. It's a blue zone. And I went there about 12 years ago to research the diet, to learn more about it. I spent 2 months there, and we've been back many times. But the island had some really interesting facts about the health. First of all, in the 1950s and 1960s, they had the highest longevity rates in the world. Ansel Keys went around the world to look at heart disease in men. And just to give you an idea, Finland was the worst. Finland had like 193 deaths per thousand. The United States was in the 90s, deaths per thousand for heart disease with men. And then we get down to like Italy, which is another Mediterranean country. It was 30 deaths per thousand. And Okinawa, Japan, which is another very famous blue zone, also a lot of very healthy people, had 13 deaths per thousand. And on the Greek island of Crete, there was only 3. And as a matter of fact, when the researchers first went there, they could only find one man on the entire island who had any kind of heart disease in a 10-year period. So heart disease was almost completely unknown. And the reason that they had the highest longevity rates is because they also had very low rates of cancer. Diabetes was pretty much non-existent. They didn't have any problems with obesity. So they were incredibly healthy people. And the recipes we're going to cook today, I'm going to make 2 quick recipes. And both of these recipes are traditional recipes from Crete. And they're both recipes from Kula Varadakis. And as I said, they're both in our book, Foods of Crete. And we're going to give out a cookbook. We're also going to give out a bottle of our new extra virgin olive oil. And we're also going to give away one of our 10-week weight loss meal plans. That will be near the end of the program. So I'm going to start cooking. And we're going to start by making a white bean soup. And the thing that makes a lot of Mediterranean cooking very Mediterranean is the amount of olive oil that is used. So oftentimes, if you get a so-called Mediterranean recipe here in the U.S. or wherever that's not the Mediterranean, it might have like 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And a lot of people think that that's a lot of olive oil. But this recipe for this soup, I'm going to show you a measuring cup here and our new olive oil. And this olive oil is great because it has a spout, but we're going to just keep adding olive oil to this until we get to the amount of olive oil. Does anybody want to guess how much olive oil is going to be in this recipe? Again, this is a traditional Mediterranean recipe. I can see the chat over here. So if anybody wants to guess how much olive oil we're going to use in this. Actually, if somebody guesses the right amount, I'll give them the cookbook. So whoever, I see half a cup, not quite 3/4 of a cup. We are now at 1/3 of a cup. It's not 3/4 of a cup. Colleen says 1 cup. And she is the winner of the extra virgin olive oil. So Colleen, if you can put your email in the chat, and then, or we'll get a hold of you, and then we'll send you a free copy of our cookbook. So the answer is 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and which seems like an incredible amount of olive oil, but this is the normal amount that is eaten in a traditional Mediterranean diet. So, and again, this soup, we're going to put this in here. So that's 1 cup of olive oil. And then we are going to start adding the other ingredients, which includes onion and extra virgin olive oil is incredibly healthy for you as long as you get real extra virgin olive oil. Turn this down just a little bit. As many of you may know, much of the olive oil that's in the US and outside of the Mediterranean is often fraudulent olive oil. And so you have to be really careful to make sure that you're getting real olive oil. As a matter of fact, sometimes the olive oil that you get in the stores is sometimes not even olive oil. I don't know if anybody saw the 60-minute special on this, but sometimes it can actually be adulterated vegetable oil, and they add beta carotene and beta carotene. What's the other thing they add? Chlorophyll to make it green and taste like fruit. And so, if you get that kind of olive oil or that kind of oil, it's really not going to be good for you. And so, you want to make sure that when you're choosing olive oil, that you always get a really great and fresh olive oil, one that you trust. Like our olive oil comes from a private estate in southern Greece in the Peloponnese region, and so we know that this is good olive oil. It's won awards. But also, if you get olive oil, like even at Costco, like the Kirkland brand is not a bad olive oil. It's a traditional. It's a good olive oil from a highly regulated part of Italy. So I just added onion to this, and I'm now going to add some celery. The great thing about the dishes in the Mediterranean is that you're going to get all the vegetables you need, and you're going to get all the good fat that you need and the good olive oil. So that, if you ever go to an Italian restaurant here or a Mediterranean restaurant, sometimes you'll get olive oil on the side in like a cruet that you can dip your bread in. But if you're actually in the Mediterranean, they don't do that because you are going to get all of this wonderful olive oil in every dish. And instead of dipping your bread just in olive oil, you're dipping your bread in this amazing mix of olive oil and herbs. And you'll see what we add to this, which is a little bit surprising, actually, one of the things that we're going to add. So we're going to add celery. We're going to have this on a medium heat. We'll put the links for the recipes in the YouTube chat. And feel free to ask any questions as we go. The next thing I'm going to add are some carrots. These are carrots from our local farm share. We're going to add about 4 carrots. One thing that you do end up doing a lot in the Mediterranean diet is cutting vegetables, because there's a lot of vegetables. And so you can use a food processor to cut vegetables, or a mandolin. I usually just use a knife. But if you're making a lot of food, then something like a food processor to cut the carrots and the celery is not a bad thing. After we finish adding the ingredients here, we're going to go on to show you what a traditional Greek salad looks like. And it's probably not it's definitely not what you would get at most Greek restaurants here in America. Okay, so we've added celery, onions, and carrots to the 1 cup of olive oil. And then we're going to turn it up a little bit. And we're going to let that cook. I see people are from Florida, southern Utah. Anybody from another country out there besides the U.S.? Okay. So when we're talking about olive oil, I just want to say a few things that are super important to make an authentic Mediterranean meal. You want to make sure that you have authentic Mediterranean olive oil. And like I said, there's a lot of fraud. A lot of stuff isn't olive oil, or it's not extra virgin, or it comes from a lot of different places and it's not just like from a single source. So it's really important that you get the right kind of olive oil. So like I said, Costco, the Kirkland brand has good olive oil. Trader Joe's olive oil is good. Whole Foods olive oil is good. When I say good, they're good. They might not be as flavorful as like a really single estate type of olive oil, but they're still going to be really good for you. When you are testing your olive oil, like if you can go to a place that has the big barrels of olive oil and you can taste them, you want to be tasting for a peppery burn. And that burn is a very strong anti-inflammatory. As a matter of fact, 1,000 years ago, they used the olive oil to cure headaches and toothaches because that was their ibuprofen 1,000 years ago. So you want to make sure that you get that peppery burn. It's going to help with inflammation. It also is full of antioxidants, vitamin E, really, really good things. So if you have any kind of a local like Middle Eastern store, or like a Spanish store, Greek store, anything like that, go in and ask them if you can try their olive oil, and ask them for their best olive oil. And a lot of people say, well, I just use the extra virgin olive oil just to put on salads and like the really good oil. We use this olive oil on everything, including frying. Because the fact that it's a myth that you can't fry with extra virgin olive oil, and it actually is one of the best oils to fry with. You want to try not to get it past the smoke point, but it keeps a lot of its health qualities even when it's frying. And so in the Mediterranean, they'll make French fries fried in olive oil, and they're amazing. If you've ever had them, they're so, so delicious. Okay, so we are just look at that. Can you see the olive oil dripping there? That's an amazing. It's going to be an amazing white bean soup. This is also called a lavera, which means that it's cooked in lots and lots of olive oil. So one of the surprising ingredients for this soup is the traditional way you would use dried orange slices, but here we are going to just do a couple of slices of orange, maybe 3 slices, with the juice and the flesh and the skin. We're just going to drop it right in there. And then we are going to add some oregano. This is oregano that we picked from our own garden and dried. We're going to add some of that. And then we will want to add some bay leaves, 1 or 2 bay leaves. So this recipe can be done in about 20 minutes, but I always recommend with soups, like the next day, it's always going to be better. And if you cook it for 30 to 40 minutes, it's going to be even better, like 30 to 40 minutes on a low heat. Next, we're going to add some tomato paste. Another great thing about the Mediterranean diet is if you have somebody in your family that doesn't really like vegetables, there's a lot of different ways that vegetables are prepared, and it's often hidden in things like this soup. And if you have somebody in your family that's more of a meat eater, you can always add something like chorizo to this. You could add chicken. Really, any you could even add fish to this. Like a white fish would be good with this soup. So what we're doing now is we're just cooking this down so that the carrots are nice and tender. Okay, so next when we get to it, we're gonna add the cannellini beans, and I'll talk more about that as we go. Do I have everything in here? Yep, we got everything in here. So we're just gonna let that cook, And next, we're going to make the salad. So this is a traditional Greek salad. If you've ever had what you think is a Greek salad in most Greek restaurants in America, what you're going to get is a lot of iceberg lettuce and green pepper, and then usually a little less of everything else. A real traditional Greek salad, no lettuce. As a matter of fact, for most of the time that I've been in Greece, which is probably like 4 or 5 months at this point, I have very rarely seen a lettuce in a salad. As a matter of fact, I mean, like a chop salads, which is a salad that's all chopped up, sometimes that has lettuce in it, sometimes not. But I'm going to make a traditional one today. And instead of green pepper, I'm going to use red pepper. And the reason that we're going to use red pepper is because red pepper is basically a ripe green pepper. And because it's on the vine longer, and it's what makes it, when it gets its color, it goes from green to yellow to orange to red. The red has the most beta carotene, it has the most antioxidants. It's basically a ripe green pepper. And so it's another reason why a lot of people that eat green peppers get digestive issues, because it's like eating like a green banana or a green avocado. It's not really ready to be digested yet. So it's best to use a red pepper. So that's a little bit different than the traditional. But we're going to just slice this right into here. This is another thing that I learned when I was in Greece. A lot of the people don't use cutting boards. And I mean, I'm using a cutting board, but a lot of the stuff they just cut right into the salad. Next, we're going to add just some red onion. And we want it to be really thin slices of red onion. The typical American gets about 2.5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, whereas the average person in the Mediterranean gets 9 to 15 servings a day. So that's a huge difference. And this is a huge part of why people are so healthy there. If you have a diversity of fruits and vegetables every week, you are going to be improving your gut microbiome. People in the Mediterranean tend to have really good gut microbiomes, which is one of the reasons why they're so healthy, one of many. So a good gut microbiome can mean that you have less brain issues, less Alzheimer's, less problems with weight. You're going to lose weight easier if you have a good gut microbiome. And so it's really important to have a diversity and a lot of fruits and vegetables. And that's what they do in the Mediterranean. So next, we're going to add tomatoes. Just for the ease of this, I'm going to add cherry tomatoes. But you could, in the Mediterranean, you would often see this with bigger tomatoes that are sliced. And then we're going to add some cucumber. I suppose I should be using a Greek cucumber instead of an English cucumber, but that's what we got. And that is a super potent onion. Okay, so we're going to add cucumbers. And then some olives. Okay, let me check the chat over here. Is Fratelli Carli good olive oil? I don't actually know that particular olive oil. So I'm not sure of that one, if that one's spelled right. I haven't heard of it. And thanks for the recipes. You're welcome. Making the soup tonight. We're going to put the recipe in the chat, and it's also on our website at Mediterranean Living. If you look up white bean soup, you will find it there as well. Slovenia. Hello, Slovenia. That's awesome. You might be the furthest away so far, for sure. So far we have cucumbers, peppers, red onion, cucumbers, and now we're going to add some of the best ingredients. I mean, of course, the olives are one of the best, and the vegetables. One of the things that I hear people from the Mediterranean say is that the olive oil is basically the bus to get to the vegetables. Like the olive oil is what makes the vegetables taste so good. Like if you think you don't like vegetables and you've never had like olive oil soaked vegetables or like a soup like this that has a cup of olive oil in it with the vegetables, I just recommend that you try it that way. And I think that you will find that you really love it. So we're going to add, this is authentic Greek feta that is in brine. This is made with sheep's milk from Trader Joe's. Really authentic feta cheese is either made with goat milk or with sheep's milk. And so we're going to add that on top. And this is one of the ways that they would do it in Greece. They would just add the feta right on top. Then we're going to top it with a little bit of oregano. Then we're going to add lemon juice. You can also add red vinegar. It would still be traditional. We're going to add a nice amount of lemon juice, like a whole lemon. Give it a really nice lemony flavor. And finally, the pièce de résistance of this particular salad is extra virgin olive oil, and a lot. So this is one of those dishes that when you get to the bottom of it, you dip your bread in it. It's going to have some feta cheese in it. It'll have the olive oil in it, the lemon juice, and then some of the olive juice. It's so good, so delicious with lots and lots of olive oil. So this can be a meal in itself. This is like it has everything you need for a meal. It's got protein and fat and vegetables. So it's the whole thing. And people will in the Mediterranean eat just the salad as a meal. But I like to have the salad with a good soup like this, a good traditional soup. So now we're going to add white beans. This is, you can either use it from fresh or canned. And the canned, of course, if you're really, really busy like I am, sometimes the canned is good. This is a canned one. This is four cans. And these 4 cans we have rinsed and drained and rinsed. We're going to add that, mix that in. And then we're going to add 2 cups of water to that. And then some tomato paste. And basically, as soon as this comes to a boil, you can eat this. It's ready to go. Again, like what I said, I like to wait 20 to 30 minutes because what happens is the olive oil starts to thicken with the water and all the vegetables, and it makes a really nice, it's like a beautiful white bean stew. And so we have the salad. Oh, I know what I want to do next. I want to give away one of these extra virgin olive oils. So as I said, this is a new extra virgin olive oil that we got that we just started on our website. It's from the Peloponnese region. It's a single estate olive oil, an award-winning olive oil. And we just started selling it this weekend. And what I'd like to do is have whoever puts in the chat box first 3 ingredients from the salad, you will be the winner of the Momalis extra virgin olive oil. Okay, let's see who does that first. And only one winner per. We got it. Okay, is it Crystal? Yes. Crystal H, you are the winner of the extra virgin olive oil. And so in order to claim your prize, again, you can they private chat? Or you don't know. You can either send me an email at billbradley@mediterraneanliving.com, or if you want, you can just put your email in the chat, and then we will send you a bottle of the extra virgin olive oil. Congratulations. So the final thing for a good Mediterranean meal, I mean, we have a weight loss program, and I'll talk a little bit about that because we're going to give away a free weight loss program in a minute. And one of the things that you probably would eat a little bit less of if you were in the weight loss program is bread. But bread is a huge part of the Mediterranean diet. I personally lost 50 pounds eating Mediterranean. I still ate bread, I just cut back. But what I did eat was a very high fat diet like this. I would eat a lot of this kind of soup. I would eat salads. And it makes it pretty easy to lose weight, much easier than many other programs, especially once you have done it for a few weeks and you start to improve your gut microbiome, you start to decrease your inflammation, and you start doing a lot of things that will help you lose weight. But bread in the Mediterranean is eaten everywhere, and it's often a good sourdough bread. And sourdough bread is really, first of all, it's really delicious, but it's also good for you because it has a lower effect on your blood sugar than yeast bread. If you think of like how yeast rises quickly and sourdough is more of a slow process, it's the same thing for your blood. It raises your blood sugar slower and not as high as yeast bread. So if you have any issues with blood sugar, then having a good sourdough bread is the way to go. So, thank you, Lorraine. And we are just about done here with this. We see, okay, this is perfect. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but this is starting to thicken. And as this thickens and it gets all the flavors go into the beans and into the vegetables. And like most soups, especially bean soups, it's going to be really good right now. It's going to be even more amazing the next day. So this is a traditional, authentic Mediterranean meal from Greece or from Crete. And as I said, the recipes are from Kula Varadakis, who wrote Foods of Crete with me, which you can get on Mediterranean Living. You can now get the olive oil on Mediterranean Living as well. I'm just wondering if there's any questions before we go. Do you have a recipe for sourdough bread on your website? We don't yet. There is a recipe for regular bread and like a good whole wheat bread in the Foods of Crete. But the most important thing with sourdough bread is having a good sourdough starter. Sourdough bread, it takes quite a long time and it's a bit of a process to make. It's why because I'm so busy, I usually buy it. We have some really amazing bakeries where we live that only make sourdough. And so we often just do sourdough bread that we buy. Let's see. Someone said their internet is slow, so they don't have a chance of answering first. Well, we're going to fix that for the next thing. Yes, our next prize will be a random prize. So even if you're 2 minutes late, that's fine. So let's do the next, the last prize. And so we have two 10-week online programs. One is the Mediterranean Way program, and this program teaches you everything you need to know about how to eat the Mediterranean diet. It's like the perfect program if your doctor told you you need to eat Mediterranean, or you're just really curious. There's 100 recipes. There's lots of videos, and we actually have a special on it right now. So it's only $49. You can email me if you have a hard time finding the special. Maybe we can put that in the chat as well to the landing page for the Mediterranean Way program. We also have a Mediterranean diet weight loss program. And as I said, I've lost 50 pounds eating the Mediterranean diet. And this program is everything that I've learned personally and also everything I've learned as a dietitian doing research and helping other people with weight loss. And so that program has weekly meal plans and again, 100 recipes and lots of videos from me on how to lose weight and tips and things like how to eat out, things like that. So that program we are also giving 30% off right now. And Winter, who works with me, is also going to put that landing page in the chat as well. But what I want to do is we are going to pick a winner. And should we do like between 1 and 100? 1 and 1,000?
Have them comment.
What?
I think we should have them comment what they learned today.
Oh,
and
yes,
then just
okay.
choose a random number.
So what we're gonna do is just comment on something that you learned today or something that you enjoyed about our program, even something that you would like to improve about the program. I would also like that because we're going to be doing a lot more lives, or something that you would like to learn in the future. Comment on that, and we're going to pick a random person through a random number generator, and we'll tell you who that is. So we'll make sure that the people that are 2 minutes behind can get on there too. So we'll wait 2 minutes, and we'll announce the winner at 4:35. Okay. So this is actually really making me very hungry. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to put it in here so that you can see it. This has gotten really nice, and look how thick the juice is now. So what I would do, like in the Mediterranean Way program, I would have this whole meal. I would have a nice bean soup like this, if you can really see it. But it's really, really thick and delicious now. And again, a cup of olive oil. And then I would have some Greek salad on the side and some bread. If I was in the weight loss program, I would probably have the salad or the salad in the soup and maybe not so much bread. And so I think that the other thing, people worry about weight loss and having a cup of olive oil. The thing is that olive oil is very filling. It actually potentially can increase your metabolism just in the digestive process. And even though it has more calories, you end up getting full quicker and staying full for longer. Like if I eat a soup like this, even just by itself without a salad, I'm not going to need to eat anything for until the next meal, because it is so filling, and that way you don't snack a lot, and it makes it much easier to lose weight, and it's satisfying. So you feel full, you've had a really good meal full of nutrition, you feel good, you have less pain in your body, and you're more likely to exercise, you're more likely to go outside and just do anything. And so it's a great way to lose weight, to eat this way. And it's the best way to maintain your weight. The Mediterranean diet was voted for the 4th year in a row by U.S. News and World Report as the #1 diet in the world. And it's one of those diets that's been around so long that it's not a fad diet. Some people are like, oh, Mediterranean diet's a fad diet. It's been around for thousands of years. It's not like some of the diets that are around now that have only been around for 10 years. So let me see what we got here. Okay, going up to the top. Got a lot of comments here. Soup looks delicious. Okay. All right, so how much olive oil to use? I learned sourdough bread is good for diabetics. It's better for diabetics. I wouldn't say that, don't eat a ton of it. The soup looks delicious. I was surprised to learn the red bell peppers have more nutrients than the others. Thanks for all the good info on olive oil. I learned olive oil can be used for fries. I also didn't know sourdough bread is good for maintaining blood sugar. Learned how to make an awesome, authentic Greek salad. Learned the lifestyle of Crete. This is great. Thank you so much. I would love to learn to make a good sourdough bread. I've made this soup. It is delicious. I love this, and that your kitchen looks real. How much olive oil can I have? No sugar in the artisan multi-grain. Okay, that's great. Multi-grain sourdough bread from Giant Eagle has no sugar in it. Overhead camera so that we can see inside the pot. We're working on that. We're just working on whether we can do that on YouTube Live. We do actually have an overhead camera. All right. Thank you so much. We have the random generator going, boop, 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 and the winner is
Lorraine Stone.
Lorraine Stone. Congratulations, Lorraine. So if you can either, again, send me an email at billbradley@mediterraneanliving.com, or you can just put your email in the chat and we will tell you how you can get into the next weight loss program, which starts next Monday. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We are going to do more authentic Mediterranean meals from Greece, but also from other countries. And you can see how simple it really is to cook an amazing Mediterranean meal. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time.